You guys are not fully invested right now, and you see more, I suppose, risks than opportunities?
No, I think we had the dip, we had a shock. There's fear of the Delta variants, and there's the other side, which is someday we get beyond COVID. And when we do, we have a worldwide recovery, not just in the US or the developed countries. And we're seeing that tension go on in the markets in the last few days. There's sectors that have problems, Heidi. I just saw your interview with Halliburton, and the interview was tentative. They're not so sure the long 40-year future anymore of fossil fuels. I thought that was very well handled, but it revealed something about the energy sector longer term.
So what does your portfolio look like at the moment? I know the sort of completion of the vaccination story is a big piece that you're looking at the moment.
Well, we're worried about the vaccination rollout. That's a serious thing. We have 1,000 counties in the United States where the vaccination rates are 25, 30, 35%. And what we're seeing with the Delta variants in the United States is that over 90% of the people who get hospitalized, they get seriously ill and hospitalized, have not been vaccinated. And this is a worldwide problem. We don't beat the variances change, the mutations change. We don't beat this virus until we get vaccinations rolled out worldwide.
I guess those concerns right now affecting investors. This GTV chart on the Bloomberg showing how the outperformance that we saw in the value stocks really fading and growth again overtaking value. Will this trend continue then?
Well, I think it's possible. Growth has a place if we don't have the slowdown, Shery. And you know, we are overweight the healthcare sector. That's about 14% of the U.S. market. We're about 27, 28. Why? Because we think this process of virus and then long-haul illness will roll out worldwide. And so the healthcare sector is what we see. Usually you look at that as a docile, sleepy, dividend-oriented sector. But I don't think so. I think the challenges for biotech and pharma and various components of healthcare devices is huge worldwide. So we put it in a category of potential growth, not just the tech sector.
Where does that put the dollar? Because we are now seeing this pattern of higher highs and higher lows. Well,
you know, the worst thing a forecaster can ever do is forecast a currency. It's like flipping a coin, only probably the coin is loaded against the forecaster. One would think the dollar as the world reserve currency is going to maintain that position. I believe that's the case. Then there's a big question about whether the savings in China get released into the world. There was some conversation of that in the last couple of days. There's what, 45, 46 trillion in domestic savings. Would some of it come into US dollar assets? Would some of it come into euro elsewhere? And what would that do to the Chinese currency? So the currency things are impossible to forecast, but they are very real uncertainties with big impacts.